What's up, y'all? Hold this microphone into a place where people are actually going to hear it. Let's see, why is that so... Is that like oddly visible? Am I doing something different than usual? How about this? How's that look? Ah, but then look at this light here. This little guy is not on. How do I... There we go, here. It's kind of hard to do on a camera. I'm going to go turn that on. Hold 1 second, please. There we go. Look at that. So professional. It's almost like this was staged. What's up, Max? How you doing? I am, let's see, today is going to be a fun day because I have been attempting to hydrate properly, which basically means I'm trying to drink 150 ounces of water a day. And 150 ounces of water is 5 of these, which is too many. And as a result, I feel like all I do now is pee. So that's, that'll be probably a feature of today's show, is me taking a bathroom break every 15 seconds. What's up, Vinny? What's up, Danilo? How you doing? All right, so my plan today... Not quite. What's up, Darth? We got a celebrity in the chat. Okay, so my plan for today. So last week we got way down a philosophical rabbit hole, which was very fun. But I'm going to try not to do that. I mean, obviously, if y'all want to talk, let's talk. But the goal for today is to actually build some stuff. We're getting very close to a V2 of the Learn with Jason site. It's starting to feel within reach, and so I want to keep kind of hammering on that. What's going on, RJ? This little fella, this is my, this was inspired by the Party Corgi Discord. I drew this during the pandemic. I don't know why I drew a Corgi that was also a rubber duck, but it was in my heart. And so I drew this, and then somebody told me that I should make it into a rubber duck. And because I don't know when to leave well enough alone, I went down the rabbit hole of figuring out how to manufacture rubber ducks. And now I have 6 giant boxes of these. And I don't know how to sell them anymore because my fulfillment company fired me. So good times. So yeah, that's where we are on that. Let me pull this back a little bit. How about there? Is that where you want to sit? Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, so still RJ because you wanted to join the party. Oh, you went to the UO. Oh, awesome, very cool. Never used Astro before. Is it any good? I think it's good. We'll see how it goes. Hey, what's going on, Dave? Good to see you. What's up, Charles? And rubber duck pair programming, 100%, yes. And thank you, by the way. This beanie spends a lot of time sitting on my shelf because I've always just been like a baseball cap guy. Not for any particular reason, just because that's the hat that I got comfortable with, and now, there we are. If only I knew how to build an e-commerce site. So the problem isn't selling them, the problem is delivering them, because as some of you are well aware, I have to, it takes me a very long time to get everything in order to go and ship things, and I don't want to be delivering everything late, so I can't do it myself. I know I won't. So what I'm attempting to do is I am attempting to grow Learn with Jason enough that I can afford to hire somebody to help me. The plan is to try to find somebody in the Portland area who can act as a kind of hybrid producer, behind the scenes kind of filmer, shooter, a kind of like a production assistant, executive assistant. So basically somebody who wants to do a lot of different things, get a lot of different types of experience. So it's I'm guessing it's most likely it's either going to be like somebody who is a career executive assistant who wants to do like that's like the job they love, or it's going to be somebody who's trying to get their foot in the door and gain some experience doing other things, and it'll be a sort of temporary role that I assume will probably turn over every 18 to 24 months. But yeah, it's definitely what I'm after here. Should sell them at local meetups. That's not a bad idea. I should start local meetups. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. If you're in the Portland area, it is very easy to find me and get them. So, Vinny, I wish you were in the Portland area too, because then I could put you in a headlock every time you make fun of me on this stream. I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's build some stuff today. Let's do this. Let's build some things. So this open Figma. I don't need to be in Figma. I need to be in. Well, I guess I should probably start my server. Yeah. So let's do that first. So here's the site. Oh, the site is running. Great. So I can go to localhost 4321, and this will take us to the version 2 of Learn with Jason. And so my plan for this is we're building it out. Want to have the ability to like watch all the series, get all the you can see the blog, newsletter, partners, etc. And the way that this works right now is that each of these series, these ones are the featured ones. If you go to the watch, you can see the full list. Go into one of these, and it pulls up all of the shows. Each of these episodes then has, the who's in it. It's got the description, all these pieces. It's got resources and links. Down here, got other episodes, and then down here at the bottom, look at these lovely people. You can become a supporter of the show. And so the way that becoming a supporter works is you click this button here, and it takes you to a dashboard, which is either hung or broken. And this is why things are in beta. What happened? Failed to load. What's going on? Bad request. Wonder if I'm missing a key or something. All right. Well, that's not really what I wanted to work on today, so I'll have to figure that out. What's up, Lex? How you doing? What's up, Bridgewater? Come to SoCal and try it. Yeah, you just wait. Okay. So what's going on, Sand Keyboard? All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ignore this for now because that is not. Well, actually, I can show you on the running site because I bet it's not broken there. I hope it's not broken there. Let's find out. So we can go in and manage the profile. And in here, you have the ability to become a supporter. So we've got all these tiers. And if you go to subscribe to one of these, it works through Stripe. It's hooked up through the credit cards, all those good things. And then down here, you can manage your profile, all that good stuff. And when you go to your public profile, if you have been on the show, it will show your episodes. Oh no, I took that out because it was super slow. Maybe I'll find a way to bring that back. But right now, it just shows your links and stuff like that. I want it to show the episodes that you've been in, maybe like the most recent 10 in my case. Everybody else, I think the max anybody's been in is like 5. So that should be fine for everybody except me. And then, all that good stuff. But so what I'm missing right now is out here, we've got the Web Dev Challenge, and what I'm missing is upcoming episodes. So, for example, we've got a new episode of Web Dev Challenge dropping tomorrow, and I would love to be able to like note the next episode comes tomorrow. Or on Learn with Jason, we have a schedule. So we've got Lazar coming on Thursday. We've got Glauber Costa coming after that. We've got, you know, a bunch of people coming on the show. And right now there's no way to see that schedule. On the current site, the way this works is I have a full schedule set up, right? You can just kind of see who's coming. And then once you get into one of these, you can add it to your calendar. I've got it set up through addevent.com. You know, there's all sorts of stuff going on here so that you can kind of be aware of what's going on. It tells you how long it's going to be, or how far away the episode is. So this one's in 2 days. And so I don't currently have this on the new version of the site. Instead, and the way I would like to do it is I would like to have like a component that lives up here that says like, you know, coming on Thursday, Lazar Nikolov, whatever. And that's, you know, that's what I'm after. So what's up, Todd? How you doing? RJ, this is built in Astro. So this is an Astro site. It is using Sanity underneath the hood for its data. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, right? Yep. So, okay, so now, how do we want to actually build this? So there's a couple ways that we can do this. The first thing would be we can go to Sanity, and so in here we've got, you know, the series. Then you can go into one of the series. So we go into Web Dev Challenge, and in here we have the actual collection. So this is the season 1, and then inside of the season we have the episodes, right? Now this is set up a little bit goofy. The reason is that Sanity doesn't, by default, the relationships are like unidirectional. So you say like this episode is part of this collection, but then if you go to the collections don't know which episodes are connected to them because it's not a two-way thing. And you can build a plugin that would query that and all that kind of stuff. But and I've talked to the Sanity team about it, and there's technical reasons for why it's done the way it's done. Basically, you're storing a reference ID in the thing. So on the episodes, you're getting a reference to a collection, but that reference has no, like the collection itself doesn't have a reference in return. It's just like in the episode, there's, you know, references includes the collection, and that kind of is what it is. In custom queries, we can traverse this, it's no problem. In the Sanity dashboard, there's no like discovery of what references what. So the thing that I was hoping to do was have like the episodes kind of listed on the side, and then you would go into an episode and it would show which collection it was part of, and then if you go to the collections, it would show which episodes were part of it. That doesn't quite work in the Sanity Studio, so what I've done instead is this sort of nested thing. We start with all of our content, we go into a series, we pick the series that we want to edit, we get into a collection, and then we get into the episode itself, which lives down here, right? So that's kind of the drill down that gets you into where you want to go. And in my case, what I want to do is I want to add a new one. So I'm going to create a new episode, and we're going to call this episode, what is this one called? It's going to be called, my brain's not working. What is it called? Build an app to show gratitude, right? And then we would generate that slug. We would have a publish date is going to be tomorrow at 6 a.m. And we'll add the rest of the people in now, but to save the data entry, I'm just going to put myself in as a short description. It'd be sponsored by Google Gemini. Four devs take on a challenge to build an app that helps them show gratitude. Okay, that's going to be that. Then for the description, we're literally just going to copy paste that for now. I'll come back and do more later. I don't have the file for I need to get the Gemini logo, so I'll go do that later. But so here's where, like, I can do a members only video. And that's one of the reasons that you would sign up as a supporter, is to get, like, I'm going to try to do bonus clips, outtakes, things like that. I need to add captions. If it's public on YouTube, we'll use the YouTube ID instead. I can add a thumbnail, etc., etc., etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to publish this. And what should happen, if I've done this correctly, is when I come back out to this page and I look at the Web Dev Challenge, it shouldn't show up here yet. And it doesn't. And the reason is it doesn't have a video associated with it, right? And so what I want to do then is I want to do a search for any episodes that do not have a video associated and that are in the future. And that would be like, that way there's, yeah, because if I do it that way, then if I need a draft, I can leave it in a draft, or I can hit this hide on the website button to fix that. Okay, so the way that we're going to do that is I'm going to go into Vision here, and this is the way that Sanity queries work. And so we'll start with the easy thing. So if I do a query for everything, I will get back everything in my query, or in my Sanity data, 813 items in here, right? If I then filter it and I say I want just the type of collection, and I run it again, what did I do wrong? Type. Oh, I think it's a double equals is why that didn't. Yeah, 11 items, so that gives me all my collections. And then what I can do is I can, and this gives you like full episode references and everything. So then what I'm going to do is inside I want just the, let's create one called schedule. So I'm going to give it a alias, and then in here what I want to do is I want to get the type of episode and the, how is this going to work? It's collection Let's start here, and then we'll look at what comes back. Oh, and this is going to be too huge. Let me see if I can stop that. Let's just get a couple of those, because otherwise it's going to get like thousands of entries, because it was getting every single episode for every single collection, so that's like duplicating the content many, many, many times. So then let's look in here. We've got our first schedule comes back, or our collection comes back, sorry, and let's get the title so that we know what it is, and let's actually just get the first one because there's no reason to get more than one. Okay, so this is our season 1. This then looks at our Gatsby function, so we can collapse these down, and then let's kind of see what we got going in here. I should be able to find... Actually, you know what? I don't need to do it like this. I can do it, it'll be episodes, right? And then these are each of my episodes. And then if I get each of them, is this right? And we'll filter them, and we'll say that the trying to remember Grok without looking it up, and we'll see how well this goes for me. Let's see. So this should fetch the actual episodes. I was right, it needs to be this. And so what this does is it actually expands the episode, and so instead of being a reference, we get the whole setup here. Let's see. Thanks, Loreheart. I appreciate that. So in here, what I should be able to find if I'm looking around is I should be able to check the publish date. And the way we'll do that is we'll say, where is it? Publish date. Publish date is greater than now. I'm gonna have to look this one up. Do I get just like a function like that? Let's find out. Sanity's gonna yell at me if that doesn't. Okay, so that's not real. Let's see if any of them come back with one. Yeah, so that's not right. So let's look up the Grok cheat sheet. And what I'm looking for here is it's date time now. That's what it was. And we need to do a date time around this one. Then, theoretically speaking, one of these now, why don't you have one? Because you definitely should. Let's filter this down, and is it series? Slug.current equals web dev challenge. And that should give us our one. Okay, so now we've got the one. Is it like that? Doesn't seem right. Let's try again. Where in here are we going? We've got subqueries. Order, release date, yep. Joins. Okay, so I'm looking for join. Related movies, so type movies, references, ID is title, and that part I'm not worried about. Type author name equals John Doe. So that's actually, that should be fine. Let's see. I know I've done this. Actually, I bet there's code in my Sanity utility that does this. So let's look through and see how this is being done. So here's the episodes, and it's at. So let's go back out here and in here, and it's not dot, it's one of these. So then, hey, look at that. Okay, so now we've got things that are coming up in the future. However, why doesn't this one have, like, this should definitely be there, right? Because go back, Web Dev Challenge, into our season, build an app to show gratitude. Okay, so this is here. And if I go into, I think it's this, inspect, it's got a reference to people. It's got a publish date that is in the future, yes. So why wouldn't this show up? Oh, do I need to publish? Probably need to publish the collection. Yes. That's the problem. It was sitting only. The new episode wasn't actually published in the collection. It was just published on its own. So here's the actual episode. Okay, so next thing is we want to make sure that this has no video and video dot mux video there's a helper for this. It's functions, where are they? If I want it to be not defined, can I just give that a bang? References defined. Query language. Where's the actual reference? Functions. So what I want is defined, and if I want to negate maybe there's like an undefined down here. String. No. Okay, so you know what? Let's just try it, because what do we have to lose, right? Let's. Okay, so that theoretically, so that fixed that, and then we would also want to check and not defined the YouTube video. So video dot YouTube ID, right? And then the way we can make sure that that works is I'm going to take this bit out temporarily. So we'll take out the date check. So now we're only checking for videos that don't have a video set. Okay, so now that should give us everything that we need. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, that's as wide as that goes. And then out here, I can choose a subset of what I actually need from this. So I need the title. Oops. I need the slug, but I don't want to have to drill into it, so I can do a slug.current. And then I need... Oh, and I need to double check that it's not hidden. So... And... hidden does not equal true. Okay, so now we've got like the shortened setup here, and then because I need to see what the rest of the fields are, we've got our title, we've got our slug. We have, we need the short description. And then I need the publish date. That should give us everything we need. Yeah. Yep. Okay, perfect. So with this now, I can build my... Oh, but I need the thumbnail if there is one. What? Just... No. You. There we go. So I need the thumbnail, and I don't think there is one on this just yet, so let's go add one. And we'll go here, we'll go here, go here, and let's add a thumbnail. So it's going to be down here somewhere. Thumbnail. This is hooked up to Cloudinary, so I might just be able to grab one temporarily. You know what, rather than doing that, why don't we... Here's the thumbnail for today. We'll just grab this one. Okay, and then we need a thumbnail alt. So publish that. And then when we go back to Vision, what we want is this will now show under video. We've got the thumbnail, and it's got all these details, right? But so what I want is I want the thumbnail, and we're just gonna, this is one of the things that's cool about Grok. It takes a little getting used to, right? Because it's, you know, if you've never seen this before, you might be looking at it going, holy shit, this is chaos. But what I like about it is that it gives me the ability to sort of build out what I want specifically, and I don't have to ask for bespoke endpoints or anything like that. So here's my secure Oh, actually, we're going to get the public ID of this one because we'll be able to make a URL for it out of a helper that we have. And then this one's going to be video.thumbnail. It's all like that. Let's see. Thumbnail alt. Okay, there we go. So now if I take this out and I fetch, now we have our thumbnail, and it has a source and an alt that we can use. And that's not quite right, is it? So let me just double check that one more time, make sure that we're getting the right thing here. So under video, thumbnail. So that is the public ID, but I feel like I might need image upload. Oh no, this is fine. It just uploaded to my main, to my root. Okay, so that's okay. So then this is gonna work just fine. And now I have a thumbnail, I have the title, I've got the slug, that'll be where we actually link to, and then we have a short description. So what that should allow me to do then is put this Grok query into a component that will actually like fetch all of this data for me, and we'll just feed it we will feed it the current series because we want upcoming events for the series even if we're looking at an older collection. So like on Learn with Jason, for example, there are 7 or 8 seasons now. But if you're looking at like the 2018 episodes of Learn with Jason, I still want you to be able to see that there are upcoming episodes on like Thursday. So that, I think, yeah, that seems right. We'll do that. So let's take this whole thing and we're going to move out to here. And so you can kind of see what's going on here. We've got all episode query, episode by slug query. Let's make a new one. It's going to be called upcoming episode by series query. And give me just 1 second here. I'll be right back. I'm live right now, so not a problem. Yeah, thank you. All right, we're doing some work on my studio right now, so there is we're doing all sorts of fun stuff. I can't wait to show it to y'all. So you don't need extensions on a thumbnail. We'll walk into that when we can. If you're asking about this dashboard, this is Sanity. So I'm using Sanity to manage all of the content for the Learn with Jason site. This is the Vision plugin, which lets me just write grok queries right in here, and then that the rest of the content is under the structure here, so we can see all the different stuff that's going on inside the show. And then what I want to do is I want to get this data out here. Now, I also have the grok query installed for Sanity, which this is really cool. Watch this. So it runs this query. Oh, does it not have that date time thing? Oh, maybe that one doesn't work, but watch this one. So it asked me for a slug. I have one that doesn't need a slug. Here's all episodes. And look at this. It shows me what the query was. I don't need to remember any params, and then it gives me all the data that I'm getting back, right? How cool is that? So that's super handy when you're working with this stuff. And if you did need, like, I could put in the value of the episode that I need, like the current slug. I just didn't remember one off the top of my head, so that's why I didn't do that. But takes a little bit of setup to that. You got to like make sure that you've got your Sanity project settings done correctly. I think it can pick them up out of the project files and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Yes, and Grok. So Grok feels a little bit like Bizarro GraphQL when you first see it. It accomplishes a lot of the same things. The thing that I like about it, so like there are good and things about it, right? The good and bad things about it. I would say the trade-offs that you're experiencing with Grok. Grok is currently a single-purpose query language. You use it only for Sanity. So that's a big trade-off, I think. Like being stuck with a single tool that uses the queries, that is a significant trade-off. The reason that it's worth it for me is that Sanity itself is very, very, very configurable, and you also get the ability to do these super bespoke queries, very GraphQL-like, but you get the extra ability to kind of rapidly build whatever subquery you want in here. So, not necessarily limited to where a resolver has been defined, but I could quite literally in here just say like, oh, I also want to get, I don't know, people. And then this query could just become like type person. And this would literally, like, it doesn't matter that there's not a relationship set up between collection and people. It just works. So you can do these kind of bespoke queries and stuff. So that trade-off is like, that's the upside. And so in my case, it's worth it, and that's why I've chosen to do it. If you have a different setup, then maybe it's not worth it. It's very much however you want to handle these problems, right? Let's see. Hold on. Just scanning this. Can you host it yourself? So yes, and so yeah. Strictly speaking, yes. Practically speaking, you probably wouldn't. What they do is the dashboard itself is open source. So I'm actually running this dashboard locally on my computer. So you can see here that it's running at localhost 3333. This is running locally for me. The actual data storage, you can, somewhere in here, they have like a self-hosting Sanity thing. Maybe you can't. Hold on. Sanity Studio. Maybe. Okay, so yeah, okay. The studio, yes. The data, they call it the data lake. No. So that's a choice as well, as like you're putting your data into Sanity's thing. I think. Like, honestly, it's not something I've considered. Like I don't want to be in the DevOps business. I want to be in the building features business. So for me, this trade-off is kind of a no-brainer. Because if I wasn't hosting it here, I would be hosting it on some other platform as a service. Like there's no world where I'm building a server in my basement, right? So I'll let them handle these servers, and at any point that you need to do a full dump, you can, again, just go out here and run one of these, and this is literally everything in your content lake, right? So you can do an export very quickly if you want to get off the system. Clients don't want data to not be in their control. Yeah, I guess it kind of depends on what's been cleared, right? Like, because it's their data's never in their control, right? Unless they've got the server in their basement. So it's either in Amazon's control, or they're using a platform as a service, in which case it's in Amazon's control, or they're using a open source tool that backs up to the cloud, in which case it's in Amazon's control. Or they can like use a Docker container that it will ultimately is in Amazon's control. So really, you kind of have a choice. You can choose any hosting provider you want. You can either put it in your basement or Amazon owns it. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at, right? Yeah, that's totally true, right? That's a very, very valid thing to balance, right? And so I do think if you look into this, that they are in fact hosted on Amazon. So in terms of who truly controls the data, it's Amazon. But yeah, again, like always trade-offs with tools, and the one that makes the most sense for you is it's going to be very dependent on who you're building it for, what the lifespan of the project is, who is going to work on it day to day, what you're optimizing for. Like for me, I'm optimizing for being able to hand over control of this to Aiden, who is my he's like, he helps me out with a ton of data entry stuff, runs the social media, does a ton of things to keep the wheels on, like Learn with Jason in general, and making sure that this interface is clear and just works and has webhooks and all those things. Building that quickly made me choose Sanity and the trade-offs. There were other things that I looked at. I looked at WordPress, given recent WordPress stuff. I'm real glad I didn't do that. But lots of cool stuff going on that way. But yeah, I would bet money that Sanity is running on AWS. That is almost assuredly how that is working. All right, let's do this component side thing. So we've got a query. All right, now I've got a query, and so then down here, I can get to my episodes. And what I want to do with this actually is let's change this out to be a variable. And we'll call this series slug. And then when I come down into get all series, series by slug, get all episodes. Actually, why don't we just grab this one, and that'll be a good copy. And then we can make this here. And we called this query upcoming episode series by slug. So we'll say this one is get upcoming episode by series. And we don't need a collection for this one. And then we're going to do one of these, and I'll show you how this works in just a minute. Series by slug query, that is this one. Okay. Zoom this out just a little bit. Is that too small for y'all? I feel like we're playing on goofy size here. I'm trying something new. So I did a thing where if you follow Josh Siri, you may have seen this layout before. So I have my screen is at like a little over 2/3 width on my monitor, and then I've got my my video here is about 1/3 of the width, and I think it's good. So I like that, and I want to give it a try. But I just set this up earlier, and so I'm figuring out how all this functions. Okay, so let's do the TypeScript generation here. This is another reason why I'm excited about Grok, is that they just handle this for me. So when I do npm run dev, it does this type gen, and then it does a schema a schema extract, which like goes in and grabs all of the pieces of the schema that I've defined in Sanity. Then it does a type gen to generate all of my types, and it starts everything up. And when I come back in here, this should, all right, I have to import it. So then when I import that, what will end up happening here is I get the upcoming episode by series query result. And if I look in here, we can see what we expected. We get our title, we've got our schedule, the thumbnail, all those good pieces, right? So that means that when I use this query, I'm not going to have to write manual types. I'm going to get autocomplete right out of the gate with it, which is magical. And then what we're going to do, since we've got this, is now I've got a function I can call. So if I head over here, and let's build this into a component, and we're going to call this schedule.astro. And to just get us started here, let's call this. We'll make it a div. We'll give it a class of schedule. And we'll just, for now, throw one of these in here. And then in our series pages, let's set up a, where is it? Just going to drop this right at the top here, I think. So we'll do it under the series header. We'll set it in here, and we're going to call this schedule, and we need to pass in a slug. We'll call it series slug for consistency, and that is going to be called series.slug. Okay, so then I need to come up here and actually import that. So we're going to import schedule from components and schedule. Okay, so if I did that correctly, what we should see when I come back out here is there's our schedule. All right, so now that we have that, we can try to get our data into it. So let's open up the schedule. And I'm going to drop this in here. We're going to add an import for it, and we're going to, we need to get our series slug out of our props, right? And so this is the way that props work in Astro. I'm going to export interface props so that I don't get a complaint about this one. And we'll say the series slug is going to be a string. And now we know that's a string, so then I can set up my, what's that? You get out of here. I want you, no, you, to be series, and then we're going to drop in the series slug. Right? Okay. So that'll do the thing. That's what we want. And that is going to land in episodes, and that'll be, we get top level await here, so then let's just dump that. Episodes null to save, and out here we get nothing. Series slug reference but not provided. Series, oh, this needs to be renamed series slug, which means you need to be renamed series slug, but that also means I don't have to do that anymore, which should mean that now this works. And there it is. Okay, so this is great. This gives us exactly what I wanted. I am happy about that. I'm going to, I might simplify this actually, like maybe we just return the schedule itself. So why don't we do that? Let's get result equals await, and then back here we're gonna return result.schedule. No, we're return the first one. Okay, now we get just the episodes. Happier about that. And now we should be able to build these out. So the way that that'll work in practice, let's see. Are those fields actually nullable? So this is, no, there might be a way for me to annotate them to make them required. In fact, there is, and I just don't think I've done it. And it happens in the sanity config, I think. So in the schema here, if I look at my, let's look at episode. If I look at episode, we have all these kinds of things. And so actually this will be a good way to test, because what we should see is that on the type, the title is not nullable if that is in fact correct. So let's go to our types. And let's look in here, and it was schedule. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Looks like it makes them nullable. Might be a way to fix that. I'm not sure. This type gen is still in beta. So it's, you know, probably some opportunities to improve in there for sure. In GraphQL, you are allowed nullable types. That is true. The props type confuses you. Is it magic? So, okay, yeah. So this is a little bit of Astro magic. If you export an interface called props specifically, then Astro will auto apply that to this props type. It is like a reserved keyword name, more or less. And there are a handful of things like that. Like if you are, if I do something like export const pre-render true, that will cause Astro to pre-render the page instead of using server-side rendering. This turns on server-side rendering, et cetera, et cetera. Because we're in a component, I think it inherits. We can test that and see how it goes. And then now that we've got this, what I think we can do is we might need to play with this a little bit, but why don't we just do a quick map of this, and then we'll get an episode. And in the episode, we going to be able to do a lot of things, but let's start by just saying maybe coming episode, and we're going to put in maybe we H3 this because it's kind of de-emphasized, and inside of the H3 we're going to do an href, and that needs to go to, oh, we're going to need the collection slug. That'll be an interesting problem to solve. I guess it doesn't really matter because we can just kind of pass it through from where it's being used. So this will be the collection slug, and then we need the episode.slug. Okay, so that'll be that. This needs to come in. Yeah, and so because we define props, so you can see it's defined here, then we can see that these are picking up the right types. Hooray! Okay, so what are you mad about? Episodes is possibly null or undefined. Fine. Let's do it like this then. Or no, we'll do it like this. That way it's always an array, even if it comes back null, which actually will happen. We'll have instances where the episodes come back. Oh, wait, you know what we should do? Let's set it as false, and then we're just going to wrap this whole thing, and we'll say episodes length. All right, we'll go episodes and episodes.length is greater than 0. And if that's the case, we'll do this. Otherwise, we're just not going to render anything. What are you mad about right now? I haven't finished this tag. So we'll go with episode.title. And why don't we throw this image in here is actually make this into a let's make sure that we're getting things to actually function before I start getting too into the weeds here. Okay, so that'll do the thing. We need to pass in our collection slug in the collection page here, and we have that collection slug right here. So if I come down to here where we're actually calling it, then we can do this, and we can do this. Did these get set up here? Series slug. Yeah, why don't we just set that straight up like this, and then you'll stop complaining. Yes, you will. Great. All right, so now this one has the right stuff. It's moving to the correct thing. Oh, but hold on. That's not right, because we need to actually figure out the collection slug for the current episode. Yeah. Yeah, Zod, I mean, they all definitely allow nullable types. Like, that's fine. But Sanity has its own thing. You define a schema through Sanity that's very similar to Zod. Don't need the false fallback. You are correct. I don't. But I guess the trick would be if it comes back null, well, yeah, you're right. You're right. We could just ignore that. So we don't need this and can instead just leave that out. And that way, if it's null or if it's an empty array, that all works. Good, good. Yeah, easy peasy. So let's see here. What we need to do next is let's build out this this image. But before we do that, I need to take a bathroom break because I'm drinking like 150 ounces of water a day. So please bear with me. I'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll continue with images. Hold, please. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's do this. The idea of an accessibility meeting at the W3C getting rowdy is extremely funny to me. I like the idea of like Todd off the top rope, like strong opinions about how many, like what the minimum contrast ratio is for something. Okay, let's get this image in here. So in order to do an image, we have access to that image source thing, like the public ID. So I have a helper that we will call, and it's, what's it called? Image. Cloudinary? No, what is it? Create image URL, that's the one. And it takes a public ID, which is our image, nope, episode, thumbnail, source. Probably should have just called that public ID. And that takes transformations. We probably want this to be maybe this is like a transformation options, and then this transformation, and then you get, let's go with width, and we'll give it a width of call it 3. We might go smaller than this. Aspect ratio of 16 divided by 9. This is making me happy. Like, Y'all are great. Okay. Okay, so we've got our... These are all nullable, right? So, I mean, I know they're set, but I guess we can... let's do it this way. If episode.thumbnail or episode.thumbnail.source, we'll just return. Like, you can't have a preview. You can't have an upcoming site or episode that doesn't have a thumbnail. So that'll be our requirement. Then we're going to say we need the width, we need the aspect ratio, we want the quality to be auto. We want the format. It's fetch format, also auto. And that should get us where we want to go. So then what we're going to do is we're going to use the image tag, but not the one from Astro itself, although that one is great. I am going to use the image tag from Unpick. And the reason I'm going to use the one from Unpick is that I want the Cloudinary URL to stay intact. And that's going to be, let's see, episode thumbnail.alt. And then, what do I need? The width is going to be 300. The aspect ratio is going to be, I should probably make these into variables so that they're not duplicated all over the place, but we're going to live with it. And so theoretically speaking, this then should show us, not quite, what did I miss? Let's inspect. We get an image. Something broke. But why did it break? Split like that? That would be silly if that was the... It's not that. What am I missing here? It's like those are all doing the thing. These are doing the thing. What if I just turn the transformation off? Does it work, like, badly? Okay, so I'm doing my transformations wrong. So let's go look at what is... Oh, they're already doing the quality and format there. And so the transformation needs to be... What am I doing? We're going to go with create image URL, and it's a straight thing like that. Oh, okay, so I'm like extra wrap. It's these, and these, and then these. Whoops, whoops. How does that not work? What is that all about? Width? Ah, aspect ratio is a string. In fact, why don't I just copy paste these? Because clearly... How about this? How you doing? Hey, look at it go. All right. So then this gets us close. It's not quite what we're after. We need a design for this. I think that might be like a core challenge of what I'm dealing with here. The other thing is that got all this going here. Upcoming episode. So let's do our styles. And so upcoming episode. Inside, I want this to be, we'll make it a width of 150 pixels. Well, that didn't work at all. Upcoming episode. What am I doing wrong here? Sizes, source set. Right, this is all fine. Element style. Max width is fine. That part I'm not worried about, but the why wouldn't this particular piece can I override? I don't want you to do that though. Yeah, see how it's like double. I don't know, maybe, okay, so I guess I don't need these at all then, do I? Because it's gonna do that part as part of the unpick thing. Right, so then we've got width and height, that's all, yeah, that's all in there, that's fine. Maybe if I just set it to be the smaller size, it'll handle the extra pixels. Let's see, here's intrinsic size. Yeah. Okay. All right. No, it's doing what I wanted it to. I was just not getting the. Okay. So this is close, and then I think what I want to do. Yeah, I am using Arc. I like it. I know that they had a little controversy lately with their decision to like build another browser or whatever. But I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off because I like the way it works. Let's see. So this is getting me closer, and I'm feeling like maybe what I want to do. Maybe what I want to do is like have should it be collapsible? Should it be, how does this work? Because it should be like, you should see what's coming next. We need to have a page where you can see all of the upcoming stuff, because right now it's like it doesn't really make sense to say I want to see this season and then you see like a bunch of stuff kind of bumping down what you came to see, but like a banner that says, you know, the next episode is coming, that seems reasonable. And then the other piece too is like this bit, because there's like 3 stages, right? There's like when it's scheduled to be released, there is when it's members only released, right? So this one is only available to supporters. and then this one is public. And so the way the show's going to work, or the way the site's going to work, is that things are going to release early for supporters. And then if you're a supporter, you can watch things a week early. If you are, if you're not, things will release as usual. You know, like you won't not be able to see stuff. There'll be a few like members only bonus things. But those won't be episodes. It'll be, you know, it'll be like maybe behind the scenes stuff or something. So we need like 3 stages. Stage 1 is scheduled. Stage 2 is members only. Stage 3 is public. And so public is the default. These should all be public. This needs some kind of a badge to show that it's members only. And like that exists here, right? This is very clear that it's members only, but it's not clear here. So we probably need some kind of a maybe like overlay badge kind of thing here that says members only until. Maybe this one says new episode coming on day. And maybe that's like the public day. And then it'll shift from being, oh, that's a good question. How would this work? Thanks, Eric. I always worry that these streams are just me muttering to myself, so I'm happy you're having a good time. So, I mean, what's the UX here? Like, maybe we do get in here and mess with this a little bit, try to figure it out. I'm gonna have to use the other layout for this because that's not legible. Let's so what we can do here is so in here right now I've got like, oh, that's the other thing, is that when the hackathons are on, I need a way to signify that those are on. Man, I got too much stuff. Okay, here's maybe a better question. Should I just query all the episodes and then just change the appearance? So let's game this out. If this one, let's say this one is going to be members only and this one is going to be scheduled. So let's just play with this for a second. Where is this component actually at? It's out here. Okay, let's make a variant. How does one create a variant of this component? Okay, so this will be our that'll be members only, and this one will be scheduled. Okay, so in our members only, we're going to have some kind of signifier that this is currently members only. And I think maybe the way we do that is just to start, we can do something like that, perhaps. And that's going to live in here. Let's just get a rectangle in here. This rectangle is going to be the same as this rectangle, so it's 170 by 100, 0, 0. 0, 0, and 170 by 100. Okay, that's our rectangle, and then it's got a 3 pixel border radius, and this is going to mask right on top of that. So we do that by hitting the mask button. Good. Now in here, I can make this, let's try it like that. Let's see how that goes. And then I'm going to set it to be maybe, what does it need to be? Maybe just a little bit. Something like that. Move it around a little bit, figure out where the right. Maybe it's sort of like that. Because I think in most of the thumbnails, like the top third is where the interesting stuff is going to be, I believe. Maybe a better choice here is to get to 0. Let's get. Whoa! What size are you? Let's get this to 20. Let's get this in here. And I want this to be sized how? We're gonna center it. Center this. This should be okay. Let's go with a fixed. And let's get to the font that I actually use on the site. Make that a little bit smaller. We'll make it a little bit heavier. Something like that. Okay, so if it's that size, maybe it should be bold. No, that should work. And then I want to take this, and maybe it's a little more opaque. We'll go to like 95. Also want to shrink it up a little bit. What button did I just push? Something like that, maybe? Maybe this goes just a tiny bit taller. Okay, that seems fine. I want these grouped, and now that these are grouped, we can start messing with the tilt on them. I feel like that's probably plenty. Keep it simple. And then I want this to have some shadow. I don't know, what do y'all think? Is this obvious enough? I wonder if it should even be, like, maybe instead of being at a tilt, we could do something like a, maybe it drops down to the bottom like this, and then we could do a, well, not you, no, what is that? You stay there, you come in here. Let's get one of these. Take that up to the top, like so, and then we'll make this like 10. Take you to be like 10. Is that too much? That's probably too much. Let's so those all seem fine. Let's shrink you to nope, 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 nope. You. Shrink this to, yeah, I think this feels a little bit better, I think. And then we can take this up to match you here. Okay, so then the way that'll actually function in practice is that down here, I should be able to set you to a variant. We're going to set you to the members only variant. Is this obvious enough? I'm designing this also. We're attempting to design it right now, and seeing how it goes. I do kind of like the tilt, but I'm wondering if because the tilt, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the right choice is here because I want it to be obvious what's going on. Yeah, I'm definitely paying attention to contrast here. Using a blink. Yeah. All right, let's try a variant with the. Let's try one with the tilt and let's see how that feels. Maybe we can make it feel better. So let's take this whole bit here. These two, no, not you. You. And then we're going to take this banner. Let's tilt it. Something like that. And then we can take the actual banner component. Blow it out a little bit, like so. And then that'll mean we take this piece and move it up a little bit. And then maybe that needs to be bolder. And then does that mean, oh, wait a minute, maybe what that means then is that this piece also then needs to go up like this. Right? Does that feel right? Let's look at it. Let's look at how it actually feels. Feels better. Wonder if I should even like bump that up a little bit more. The slant at the top is over designing. You're over designing. Let's see. What's the, oh, whoa, go back. So this is roughly full size. And let's look at these side by side. So this is members only. This is members alt. I'm not sure if one of these is really like standing out the way that I want it to. And I also, I guess the other point is I'm designing this like it's in dark mode, but I don't have a dark mode yet. So the other thing is that this would be on the light background, at least for now, until I have time to get around to the dark mode version. And so all right, this isn't right. So let's revisit this a little bit. Get rid of that. Maybe this goes even a little bit taller. I think maybe this is too many. Getting the subtlety right on this stuff is like, I want it to feel good, have a personality, but I don't want it to have so much personality that you can't like figure out what's going on here. Let's get these out of here for a minute. Let's take this, let's make it dark. Let's make this light. And then let's take the opacity down a little bit more, maybe 85. And then to just make absolutely super duper sure. Oh wait, I don't want to deal with text stroke in CSS. So let's not do that. Maybe we can do a drop shadow on it. Go 1 and 1 and give it a blur of 2, and then we'll use this 900. Because that way, even if this was gone, there's some offset from the background, and so that then doesn't need to be as intense. Does that make sense? So I could probably even drop this down a little bit more and it still stays legible, but I want to keep it enough to be like visibly different, right? Let's zoom out. Let's get over here. Let's zoom back in. Does that need to be... Like, is that the problem? What am I... something about this feels wrong. Maybe it needs to be something like this. We'll make it a little bit smaller. We'll make it a little more spaced out for legibility. 5 should be fine. Maybe... yeah, 5 is fine. And then... Oh, do I have to change all this over here? I was hoping that this would work and like update the parent instance as well. Do one of these. We're going to move this down just a little bit. Kind of looking for, you know, visually centered, which is a little weird with a tilt, but seems okay. So that is heard, Todd, and this is an off-white and a off-black. They're not 100% black and white. For exactly that reason, in fact. CSS slant frame around a page turn. Yeah, the background is kind of like a dark navy. I try not to use like pure blacks and whites in anything, for the reasons that Todd mentioned. I am wondering, maybe more is less is more here, and I need to like just chill. Is something like that. One more touch up. Because let me get one of these, and if I like swap this out for a different one, that works. Let's poke at some videos here and see if I've got other. Do I have a thumbnail for some of these? All right, let's do one of these. That looks okay. I don't know, my temptation is to make it very aggressively noticeable, and I feel like that's an urge that I should resist. Right? Like part of me wants to do something like that, but that feels super, it's loud, it's tacky. The yellow felt the same way. Red's not right. That contrast isn't good enough. Right, because then, yeah, I could do this, and I could take the drop shadow off and make this the dark again. And you, my friend, need to reset. There we go. I'm feeling like maybe I need to take the tilt out entirely. It feels a little odd with everything else that's going on. So maybe we leave that, and then what I'm also thinking is I do want something up top like this. And so I think the way I want that to work is maybe we just kind of line it up with the way that things usually work anyways. So then this one, right? This one shows up as being members only. It's kind of highlighted like that. I think that's nice. And then maybe for the coming soon, just cover your face. Josh, did you see I'm trying this layout that you put together? It's not working for Figma because Figma's too, like, there's too much UI in Figma for this to work. But for the coding stuff, it looks really nice. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, Todd. Is it's like it feels odd. It doesn't feel good. Challenging. That's a good idea. Okay, so let's do something somewhat similar for this one, and the way we're gonna do that is, wait, what happened? Oh, I need the mask group. Let's do that instead. We'll get rid of this. We'll drop this in here. And then for this one, we're going to say new episode That feels good. And then these ones will be, I think, a different, like these ones don't need to be as pronounced, right? They can be kind of simple like this. We'll make them just dark enough. Nope, that's not what I was after. Something like that, perhaps. And then this one will become the scheduled. Oh, you know what I should do with these is I should actually, let's take this and we'll have this bit here. Let's have this cover the whole thing because it's not available yet, right? And so we'll have this one drop all the way down and then we'll drop it to like 15% or so. Maybe even a little bit more. So 50%, maybe this one comes up to the middle. No, let's keep it down. Right, because now we've got like some visual language here. This is faded out, so it shows that it's not available yet. This is highlighted, so it shows that it is like different. Something's not the same. And these ones are kind of business as usual. How's everybody feel about that? Everybody wants to be closer to me, Vinny. What's up, V Prevails? How you doing? Okay, so I think I'm happy with that for a design. I feel like that's good, and it's good for a lot of reasons. Not the least of which is that it leaves me the banner space for like the announcement. So if there's a hackathon going, we can put a hackathon up there. That's good. So then, though, what that means is we need to instead update the query. So let's get this back going. If I can get the gripper. So put you here. I'm going to hide the UI so that we have this for reference, because we're going to have to come back here to look at this. And then let's go out here. And so that means what I need is we need to indicate that something is missing, and we need to indicate that something is in the future and doesn't have a like a video attached to it, right? So I think the way that we do that is we get into Sanity. So this honestly, we can probably dump this entirely. Where would I use this? I wouldn't, right? Like, I guess there's a world where I would want this specifically for Learn with Jason, because we schedule those out so far in advance that having like an upcoming schedule is good. So I'm going to leave that, but we're not going to use it. And instead, what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see, series by slug. I think that one is going to be the one that we need. So if we come up here and look at our series by slug, we're getting episodes, and then right now we're checking to see if YouTube is defined or Mux is defined. And so I'm going to instead delete that. So now we're going to get all of the episodes, hidden or otherwise. Okay, so then when we get into the collection slug, we're going to get all of our episodes. and we loop over those here. And we drop into the episode preview. So let's go in, let's do this in the episode preview, in fact. That is an easier thing to do than trying to do anything like wild here. So let's do, let's say episode status, and that is going to be, what's the clean, it's a three-way check, right? So maybe we start with episode status is going to start as public. No, because that's too magic. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to start our episode status like this, and then we're going to say if episode, where is our episode? Episode dot video. Why do I not have my, what's going on here? Why don't I have, oh, what have I done? Oh, I hate that. Why did I do that? That sucks. Why did I make that choice? It's not a good choice. Can I extract that in an easy way? Later, Todd. Okay. Let's, yeah, you know what? We're just going to deal with this. It's fine. We can live with it. I want, if there is a Mux video or wait. If there's not an episode video, Mux video, or, and, come on, which one? There it is. And there's not an episode video YouTube ID. Now we know we don't have a video component for this episode. Then we would say episode status is scheduled. Else if episode dot video YouTube ID. So that means we don't have a YouTube ID, and we do have video.mux video. Now we know that that is a members only. That's not quite right. Where's the logic? Oh, see, so on this one, we're just saying if there's a Mux video, use it. And if there's a, so YouTube takes precedence. Oh, this is going to be messy because there's going to be cases where we have both. Oh, wait, is there a way for it to end up? It can only end up as one or the other. Okay, so YouTube IDs take precedence. This is fine. Okay, so if there is a YouTube, that is a public video. If there is not a YouTube, but there is a Mux, that's a members only video. If there is, well, then the Mux player has a whole thing about like some stuff is public, some stuff is not. How is this gonna work? If subscriber sign playback, thumbnail source, publish date. If there's not a published date, fine. Is pre-release. Okay, so if it's in the future, then it's pre-release. So if it's pre-release, then we show the Mux player. If it's not pre-release and it's public, then we just play the video. Okay, so I should probably. Yeah, you're welcome. So this logic that I'm doing here, I should probably package up because that needs to be consistent. And I shouldn't be do I care about that now? I feel like that's one of those things that if I choose not to care about it, I'm going to pay for it later. Because that's reasonably complicated, right? That it, is it public? Is it pre-release? And all these kinds of things. And so if I don't figure all this stuff out, okay, let's just write out the logic here. So if there's a YouTube ID, it's public. If there's a Mux ID and the publish date, so we need like a toggle for this because the Mux stuff should say whether it's public or private, because that way if I have a like bonus content, the publish date can be whenever, but it's always going to be members only. And YouTube will always be public. That's fine. So if there's a YouTube ID, it's public. If there's a Mux ID and video is marked members only, it's members only. If there's no YouTube ID or Mux ID, it's scheduled. So that's the logic. So no YouTube ID and a Mux ID. Then we would need to check, and this doesn't exist yet, we're gonna have to go fix it. If episode video members only, then it will be members only. Else episode status public, else episode status public. Right? So that way we're kind of aware of what's going on. Let's put all this up here. Oh no, if it's... Well, we didn't check dates. Okay. Else if episode publish date is greater than... How did I do this in the Mux video player? Okay, so that's our published date. Then we get if it's pre-release. Oh, so this adds more logic because then if it's marked, because I want a way for it to go from like I think I know how this works. Okay, so okay, if there's a YouTube ID, it's public. Okay, we get that one. That one's fine. So why don't we actually just start there? If episode.video.youtube ID, this shit is public. Episode status equals public. There's no scenario where I don't want that to be true. So else, if there is no YouTube ID and there is a Mux video, then we need to check if the video is not marked members only and, or actually we can just write this out. If the video is not members only and is pre-release, right? Because we did that logic already. Then we call it members first. If the episode.video.members only, then it's members only. And there's no world where we override that. So members first, members only, and if it's not episode.video.members only and it's not pre-release, then the episode status is public. Right? So just work through that. If it's got a YouTube ID, it's always public. If, let's change this order. If it is not marked members only and it's not a pre-release but it has a Mux video, then it's public. If it is marked as a pre-release but it's not marked members only, then it is members first, meaning it will be available to members until it'll be available to members now, and at the appointed publish date, it will become public. If it is marked members only, it is always members only. Publish date has no impact on that. Otherwise, if it is pre-release, and it does not have a YouTube video, then it will be scheduled. Okay. How's everybody feeling about that? Feels all right to me, I think. I don't have a default case here, so maybe what I do actually want to do, well, because we check. Oh. Okay, I have to take yet another bathroom break because I'm drinking too much water. I'm drinking enough water, but I don't want to drink any more water. I'm so over it. I'll be back momentarily. We'll think about this, and then we're going to solve this. Okay. Brita water filters. Yeah. What's up, Friesen? How you doing? Let's just do this because this should be an unknown state, and so we're going to okay, so that then we can say episode status we'll do the ones that we understand. We'll do scheduled, public, members first, members only, includes there we go. Now you'll stop yelling at me. Okay, so if it's in one of those, then we're actually going to return something. Otherwise, we'll return nothing. So that way we've got a fallback. If we get into an unknown state, we'll log it so I can find it and figure out what's going on. But that way we know what's happening here. And then the other thing we can do is we can put our episode status right into the class list, which should mean following expression. left or right. Something broken in here. This code works. Leave me alone. Oh, is it insanity that I type out? Oops. Typo something in here. Yes, there. Okay, so what should then happen is when we go in here, we should see our episode previews. And so it says this one is scheduled, that's broken. And this one is scheduled. So this one has a MUX ID. Does it return only published episodes? Yes. The query is here. So this is the hidden true, and then I believe somewhere in here in the sanity stuff, I've got the config, and we're somewhere setting that it should only send me. That's actually a good point. Let's. See. Perspective. Query runs as if draft documents were published. Raw query runs published. Perspectives. So it looks like I should check this in the Sanity client. Create client. Where am I creating a client? Down here. Sanity. Create client. Good catch there. So that should solve a handful of problems just kind of immediately. However, it's not solving the problem where this one, which is set as it does have a video on it, is being shown as scheduled and not members first. So we need to dig into why. So let's look at the episode itself real quick. Here's our sneak peek. It's set to publish tomorrow. It's got a video attached. We've got captions. We've got a thumbnail. And I need to add that new field. Here's our episode type. So then down in video, we're gonna set this one. Where does this one live? We'll put that one right up top. Okay, and then I need to set some defaults. It's going to be members only. Okay, so then that should give us a toggle that says whether or not it's members only. We leave that untoggled. And then we're going to come out here. Okay, so something's wrong with our logic. See, that shouldn't be possible, and that leads me to believe that I have my fields wrong. There's the Mux video. So how would you be unset on something like this? Just found out the episode probably won't go out tomorrow. We're stuck in approvals, so here we go. What was I saying? Yeah, why aren't you... Oh, you know what it might be? I wonder if in the query I'm not actually getting those values, and so it can't check to see if it has those values. Series by slug. That's all series. Here's series by slug. Slug current series. That's fine. Then we get the current collection. That's fine. Then we get the thumbnail. We get the YouTube ID, but we don't get the Mux video, and we don't get the members only, which would both be very important for this query to work properly. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. Now we get members first. And then down here, we get scheduled. Great. Let's change this to members only momentarily. And now it says, I'm not convinced that got the query right. Now it says members only. Okay. That feels like we're getting what we wanted. Those are all showing up as public. Good. Now, once the cache clears, there's our cache. Okay, so now we're members first. Okay. Great news. So, what that means then for us is that we can take these classes and add extra stuff in the event of a members first, members only, et cetera, et cetera. And that also makes me realize that we also need like a members only that's just members only. Right, something like that, right? Can figure that out later. But what I can do then is out here, because we decided on this one's got a top and bottom border. This one's got an overlay and a bottom border, or a bottom banner. And then these ones will be the same with just different content. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. What's up, Michael? How you doing? Okay, so let's keep digging here. Let's go, let's do this one first. So members first. And the way that's gonna work is, if it is members first, can we just do this as an actual overlay? Let's try it and see how it goes. So if it's, that's gonna be like members first. And we'll put it after the anchor tag because we can't do an after on an image. Okay, let's see if we can do this from memory. So it's gonna have the content actually needs to be the text that we want to use. So this is, ooh, how are we gonna do this? Oh, I know how we can do this. Data overlay text. That will be episode status. This probably needs to be better. We're going to call this status text, in fact, and we are going to start by making it empty. And then here, we're going to say status text is going to equal members only until, and then we need the date, and that's going to be date dot to locale date string, and then I can make that US, and then we can say month is going to be short. Day is going to be numeric. And I think that's all we need. I hope. And then this one is going to be just members only content. And finally, scheduled is going to say, what did I, new episode coming November 20th? Okay, so then that text is going to be in here. And then down here, I think I can just do this. And if I did that correctly, we should get some chaos here. Just drop stuff right in there. That's nice. But it feels like it should just work, right? Later, Charles. What's up, Alex? How you doing? Members only videos. That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure yet, and I'm open to input on this. My hunch is to do it only on the site. But I know that that's like a specific perk of YouTube is that you can do members first videos. So I guess maybe I could push that both ways. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because I think like the idea is, you know, I want the benefits to be available to people through the site, and YouTube is more of like a publishing target than like a community hub for several reasons. One of which is that YouTube just takes like a very serious chunk of the revenue, and so moving it toward the site improves the revenue split, and also the site has just additional benefits of like being able to have your profile and stuff like that. So I want the incentive to be to use the site, but I don't know if I want to remove the ability to use other things, because like people should be able to do whatever they want, right? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for this. Okay, so let's just get back in here and see what's going on. So we've got our href, and that's got the image in it, and then that should have oh, I know what's going on. We there it is. Got to make the right thing the right thing. So that then gets us the right text. This one should say scheduled, and it doesn't. And that's because we haven't how do we want to do this? We can members first, members only, scheduled. I think that's all the ones we're going for here. So that gives us these. We're happy with that. And then what we need to do is actually do the styling. So we can make these, this bit's gonna be display. This is gonna have to be nested because I need this part to be position relative. And the reason it needs to be position relative is that this needs to be absolute. And that is going to, let's see, inset inline is going to be 0. Inset block end is going to be 0, and that one needs to move up. And the background. Oh, the background's going to be different per thing. So we'll have to deal with that. But for now, let's see, that gets that in the right place. Let's get text align is going to be center. The font weight is going to be, or hold on, it's going to be font family is going to be JWF bold. Good. Then we've got text transform is going to be uppercase. size is going to be, I think we had it at like 11 pixels, so that's probably a 0.75 rem would be my guess. Something like that. Maybe we can go even a tad smaller. What is that, a 675? Eatsy beatsy. And then we'll get letter spacing is going to be, I'm going to guess about 0.1. That seems about right. And then we need to get some padding going on. Let's do 0.5 and let it sit at 0 maybe. That's too much. Let's go with 325. That seems better. And let's just set in a background that can be our default. And we're going to color mix, what was it? In OKLCH, we're going to use the gray 0, so like my white color. And that's going to be, I think we decided 85%. And we're going to mix that with transparent, which should give us a transparent bit there. Okay, good, good, good. And then we'll do a color. That color is going to be text strong. Good. Text is still too big. Let's go with 0.5. Is that okay? Something also seems goofy here. Oh, I know what it is. We need this to only target the image link, because otherwise that's going to do weird stuff that we don't want it to do. And then what? Then what are we doing? We're going to get for these. So that one feels good. So then I need can we do, how does it work? Can I do like extra targeting inside? Let's see. So is members first image link after. Can I do it like that? Is that going to work? Let's do the background and we'll set it to like yellow 500. I imagine y'all can hear the vacuum, but it's not drowning me out, is it? I'm also excited for the next Web Dev Challenge. Thank you. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. So let's see if that worked, actually. That would be neat if that worked. It didn't. And it didn't because I targeted it wrong, or it didn't because it doesn't work. Let's find out. So this is members first, members only, scheduled. And then that gets us down into this bit here, which gets us into this bit here, which is not and image link and after. That's what I did wrong. Is members first, image link after. is members first. Does this part work? No, I think this double targeting isn't going to work. Which is too bad, because that would be really cool if that was possible. So I guess the way that ends up working in practice is we move it out of, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Calm down. Outside here. Oh, no. It absolutely is going to work, because I had it nested one level too far is the problem that I was having. So we are going to take this out, get back to where we were. Look at that. There we go. Okay, so that's doing what I want. Why actually, ooh, you know what we can do? Watch this. We're gonna say BG color, and that's gonna be this piece here. And then this is gonna change to BG color. And then instead of having to rewrite all of this, what I can do instead is I can change the BG color here. And see that? That's dope. I love these little fixes. They're so nice. And then the other thing I can do that's cool is I can... Let's see, this is going to be actually be members first or members only. And this is going to need to affect both the after and the before. So we're going to get the image link before as well. That's going to have just empty content. I need it to be display block. We're going to set it to be position absolute. Absolutely. Then we're going to set it as inset inline is going to be 0. Inset, this goes on top. Inset block start is going to be 0. We will say it's going to be block size. What do we think? 1 rem? And then that is also going to have a background of I should set this at the image link level, huh? Let's move this up. And then here, target like this, target like this, and we're going to move this up. Oh, because then we don't even need to change that one. I feel like I should be able to fix this. Yeah, okay, we're going to do it like this. We're going to do before and after. We're going to set this bit here. Just going to start moving things up. Because I need this one to be up there. I need these. Well, that one's actually going to stay. Let's see, you're going up there. This one's going up there. Okay, that feels a little better. And then down here, instead of having to set all of these, we don't have to set this anymore. We just set the block start. We don't have to set that anymore. And we don't have to set this anymore. see that now is doing what we wanted. I want it to be a little bit shorter than that, so we'll say 0. Let's try 7.5. We'll go a little bit more. About like that. Okay. So that feels pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's maybe make this font size just a tiny bit bigger. That seems like that's going to work. And then on the public side is scheduled size, the image link. We're going to not mess with the background color, but instead we're going to set the block size to auto, and actually we don't even need to set a block size, because instead what we're going to do is we're going to say inset 0, because I want that to be the whole thing. Why didn't that work? Oops. Come on. Over here. You should be here, and you're not because... I need this after. I want the before, actually, which is not registering at all on this one. Interesting. Scheduled, before, after. Scheduled. Image link before. What are we missing? That's the after. There should be a before. And for reasons unbeknownst to me, it's because we're not setting the content here. Let that override. Okay, so there's that. Look at that. That feels pretty okay, huh? But I do suppose maybe we should make the transparency amount variable. And then down here, do it about like that. I did it on the wrong one. That looks good, but we're going to move it inside here so that the maybe we bump this up to 60. What do you think, y'all? Huh? I think this is okay. I think I'm gonna live with this. It feels good. Contrast is good. It's kind of got a whole thing going on. If you click into it, that works. Probably need some kind of like a coming soon thing. I'm not mad at it. Right? That's cool. That's cool. I'm feeling good about it. Okay. How we doing on time? We're like, I don't know if there's much else we can do in 19 more minutes, but this feels good. So why don't we clean out the schedule thing, because we're not using that. And then let's ship this. Okay, so here's all my sanity stuff. Okay. Add members only toggle. And then let's see, what else did we do here? We want to git add components, episode preview, and source util sanity. Add style support for members only and scheduled episodes plus styling. What else we got in here? We've got what changed in here? Let's okay, so we're gonna git add components eyebrow. We'll say git commit clean up eyebrow styles. What changed in here? We got schedule. Do I want to? I don't think I'm going to commit that schedule just yet because I'm not really using it. So we'll do the series view. Yeah, we want that. We want this. Then we've got our series list, and we cleaned up a bunch of stuff to put that in there. Yep, so we're gonna do that, and these ones say git commit added series view component and watch page. Oh, I need, let's see, git add. What changed in here? We got this. Oh, I just cleaned up. We'll clean up there. We'll call this a chore. Refactor magic numbers. This is the one that I'm actually using. So that is all pushing, which should mean that in here we should see it building. There's the V2. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this one because that was before I finished all of the stuff. So we're going to get this one going instead. PHP, SQL, and JavaScript are all very useful. Very, very excited about that. Thank you, Michael. I'm really excited that this is starting to come together. I also did some stuff to like make certain pages pre-render and things that before were being done server side, because I originally had some ideas about like making stuff run with some dynamism, and then I realized like why. So I swapped out the pieces that needed to be dynamic for Astro Server Islands. Everything else is pre-rendered, and that has led to a much better experience. So this will take a little bit because we are in fact building every page, and you know that takes a little bit of time. But I think, if I remember correctly, my deploys now take. See, this one was 7 minutes, but that was a first run, so that should be a little faster now once it's cached. But who knows? Maybe it's not. In which case, I can start looking at where the slowdowns are on that build. My hunch is that I'm making a lot of queries here because I'm building it for pre-rendering, and I'm not really stressed about like how performant the queries are, so I can probably go through and optimize those to speed up the build. And this should make the actual experience of using the site like super fast, except for like, profile pages are dynamic right now because I am not currently rebuilding the site every time somebody updates their profile. So to make sure that you get the most recent information out of your profile, I'm doing those server fetched. I should be able to put them on the CDN though, which should make them much faster. I'll look into that and make sure that's happening. And then we got a handful of other options here with, you know, like the dashboard is currently server rendered. I think that's actually it. I think everything else is pre-rendered. So it should feel pretty snappy once it's done. It is looking like I'm going to eventually here want to go in and debug a little bit of these queries just to figure out what I'm doing that's so slow here. And it could be as simple as I just didn't put these on the CDN, and so we're kind of hammering Sanity right now. But this is getting close. This is getting close. It's feeling good. My target for myself, and you know we'll see because things have been a little hectic. My target for these is to do a launch by the end of the year. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get it rolled over by the end of the year. But this feels like we're making. Come on, bud. We're almost there. And when I say almost there, I mean we've got like 400 episodes to learn with Jason to build. So it takes a little time. Speaking of learn with Jason, while we're waiting for this to build, why don't we take a look? I've got great episodes coming up. We've got Lazar is coming on this week. We're going to look into debugging complicated apps. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm learning about SQLite and Terso. SQLite is great. If you haven't used it, it is, I think it's the fastest database I know of in terms of setup for building something and trying something out. Elvis is coming on the show. We are going to learn about a framework that lets you build apps entirely in Python, and it like consumes your React components. This is going to be an interesting one because I don't know how to write Python really. I've probably written 30 lines of Python in my entire career. So this is going to be probably funny. And then Corey Spiceman? I need to check how to pronounce his name. Is going to teach us how to write some tests, or how to make cleaner code using tests, right? And he had some pretty interesting ideas here. He's I believe a senior engineer at Netflix. So some good like how do we build how do we like think using tests and all that kind of stuff, that fun stuff. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So really looking forward to these. They're gonna be great. This is gonna take us through the end of the year. So these episodes, and then there are 3 more episodes of Web Dev Challenge coming before the end of the year, and something new. I'm working on a game show that is gonna the first episode is gonna hit before the end of the year. So lots happening between now and New Year's Eve, which is why me trying to get this site out has me a little bit nervous, because there are a lot of moving parts right now, lots of things happening, and a lot of holidays coming in to just really steal time and make it so that people aren't replying to emails. Let's go see how our build is doing. Still chugging along here, getting through all of the Learn with Jason episodes. Yeah, we're spending about a second a page, which is not ideal. So there's probably something I can do in here to make this faster. Let's peek at the code. And let's see what queries we're running. So up here, we are running a get all episodes query. I almost guarantee that is the problem. Are we using the CDN? We should be using the CDN. Well, but this actually should only run once, and then down here, okay. This probably needs to move out, because this is like a whole thing. Where are we using this even? Status active equals null. So I wonder if this should probably be pulled out into a server component, would be my guess. Because then we'd be able to drop that into, that would drop out of the build and would be, I don't even think that would work right now. It should, yeah, in fact, everybody will probably see become a supporter right now, which means that functionality is broken in the first place. So that's a whole thing. That'll be a thing to fix. Then we're doing a request to get the episode by slug. I wonder if we should just expand this to get the episode details and then pass the episode in instead of doing this query. Because then we would do the query once. We'd load all the data. It would be a big old chunk of data, but then it's not a round trip on every episode. Supporters would be another thing, because that's like one query, because that's for active supporters. And I looked into like how to do it historically, and I just honestly I couldn't. The idea of like having to track which episodes were aired during the tenure of somebody's support, I was like, I apologize, everybody, I'm not doing that. And this piece here too, like getting the clerk users with IDs, I can probably do that all in here as part of like one chunk of work and then pass those in. That will almost certainly make everything way faster. So that would be one good thing to do. Because the rest of this just works. So that part should be fine. Return the params, and then I can return props. So yeah, what I would do is I would move this one. I don't have time to do this today because I gotta wrap it up. But let's see, move into server island. This move into get static paths query, and move, oh wait, that's gonna happen anyways in the. And finally, it was, where was it? I guess, yeah, all that'll move, and that'll be good. So that should fix it. This is built. Let's see, V2, and let's see how this feels. We got Web Dev Challenge. We've got new episodes coming. We've got snappy page loads. There we go. That's what we wanted, everybody, is nice, snappy pages. Is it possible to extract the Sanity schema? You can extract the Sanity schema in the sense that it is all public. So github.com, I think this is V2. So like this is the site here. So here's, live site is up at v2.learnwithjason.dev. The source code for it is on GitHub, the learnwithjason.dev-v2 repo in the learnwithjason org. And if you look in the Sanity folder, there is schema types and then index. And this is the full schema that's being used on the site. You can kind of see like each field gets defined. The name is what we're actually querying. And then if you want to see the queries that I'm using, it's under util and sanity. And this project ID, you can actually, you won't be able to write because you don't have a token, but you can read. The public data, anything that's published is considered public. So if you take this and just turn, come on, stop helping me. Turn this part off, you can actually query anything in the Learn with JSON API, or the Learn with JSON data set, more specifically, that is marked as public. Published, I should say. So that, I think, is going to take us home for today. I'm feeling pretty satisfied with how far we got. This is, I feel like this is looking good, right? Like we've got everything going here. We've got the ability to jump around into different pages. We've got the site loading so much faster, and you can get into all this stuff. And if you are a supporter, actually, Michael, are you on the stream still? Or anybody who's actively a supporter, can you confirm that you can watch this video? Or Fada, yeah, you're a supporter. VDog's a supporter. Who else is in here? Michael, Wesley, Robert. Because this is the only thing I haven't confirmed, is that somebody who is a subscriber can actually watch these videos, which this one's, I think, like a trailer or a clip. But it should play for you if you are logged into your account. And maybe tag me in the Discord and let me know when you get a chance if you're able to play that video. But that's, Vinny, this is hurtful, sir. V2 on production on iOS 15. What version of iOS? So I'm gonna have to look into this because I don't know. Like, let's see, Safari. Let's go to V2. Learn with JSON. .dev. Yeah, this is a little goofy. Like, it doesn't look like broken, but it doesn't look great. Like, there's some extra stuff going on here. So I'll have to, oh yeah, these series pages are totally jacked up. Is that true on here as well? Oh yeah, I've got it. It's just jacked up on mobile right now. My hunch is that if we shrink this to mobile, it's also going to be broken. Let's go small iPhone. Yeah. This, I think, is my culprit. I think I've got an inline size on that, so that actually fixes everything on that page. But then there's real weird stuff going on in here where these have like fixed aspect ratios and stuff. So I'll fix all that. Like I said, there's still a ways to go before this is like ready for prime time. If you notice anything that's all jacked up, if you want to leave an issue on GitHub, it's linked up at the top. That helps me make a burn down list. A couple folks like Robert Groves have submitted some PRs to help me as well, which is like truly appreciated. But you know, all things considered, we're making progress. It's before I take it out of beta, I will make sure all those bugs are fixed. But thanks, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna call this one done. So make sure you make a note. Come see me on Thursday. We've got Lazar coming on. It's gonna be a great episode. We're gonna learn how to debug complicated apps. And other than that, stay tuned because we do have a new episode of Web Dev Challenge coming out this week. Date is a little bit in flux. We're getting through final approvals, but we're working on it. So I'll make a bunch of noise about that on Blue Sky and through the newsletter and all the other places that I make noise. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Later, y'all.